Hello, everyone. I just wanted to take a few minutes to make a video for you guys this week that goes over the assignment for Module 2. I think it's pretty straightforward, but sometimes students allow themselves to kind of get a little overwhelmed by it. So I wanted to make this video so you have it to watch as many times as you need throughout the week. We will discuss this in class, but it may feel like we're moving kind of quick for some people. So this video will be good to go back and reference for the expectation of the assignment. And also, I would recommend using this to get started early. Don't wait until you see me Wednesday or Thursday for class per se. You can go ahead and get started after watching this video. And then if you have questions, bring them to class. Or if something I say in class changes the direction you want to go, you can do that. But you might be able to get it done beforehand. I encourage working early just because Sunday creeps up quick. And remember, running out of time is not a good excuse for not doing the assignment. Plus, if you get started on it earlier, you could use our embedded librarian, Heather, for help. Or you could even get help for a writing tutor, either in a face-to-face appointment, a Zoom appointment, or through tutor.com. Because 5 points of the 40 will be for grammar and mechanics, okay? So I just want to go through the assignment real quick and then show you where you're going to need to go to get this done. So as you get into Module 2 and you roll down to the assignment, you'll see that we have a Dropbox assignment and we are looking at an ethical issue, okay? Now this assignment has 3 parts. You're going to research and summarize an article. You're going to state the main ethical issue. You're going to share your reaction, and you're going to write those 3 paragraphs as follows, okay? Paragraph 1, you're going to summarize the article in 5 to 7 sentences minimum, okay? Now, what I mean by summarize the article is this is what we would call a summary paragraph. Nothing in this paragraph should actually be like your own thoughts on the article. I just want you to summarize the main issue of the article in a paragraph so that the reader who hasn't read your article would understand the situation, okay? So you're going to give me a recap of what's going on. Now, what I want you to consider is the article that we're looking for. You're looking for something that has to do with some sort of ethical issue. Now, as you'll recall from the course content, ethical issue and ethical situation is a situation where we're concerned about the moral right or wrong of a scenario, okay? So if there's no question of morality, that's not a good article, right? So this has to be something that makes us stop and think about the moral implications of what is right and what is wrong to do in that situation. And if there's any questions, please reach out to me. If you can send me the article, you can ask me if it's good, you can ask me what the situation is, whatever you need. The biggest hang up I've seen some students get caught up in on this assignment in the past is they want to conflate ethical issue with legal issue. We are not talking about legality in this situation. We're talking about morally right and wrong. So if your question is about if something should be illegal or not, or if somebody should be punished for something, the way they were punished, those are all questions of legality per se. I want a question of morality, okay? And the textbook talks about what that is. And like I said, you can ask me and we'll discuss this in class if you have any questions about what that is. As you'll see here in the instructions, you need to get this article from the America's News database. The reason why is I don't want you guys just Googling and pulling articles from unreliable sources like Breitbart or BuzzFeed or any other thing like that where it's this kind of subjective news. The SPC databases are information that's been collected by information professionals. People kind of keep an eye on it, and it's a little more reliable and valid of a source. So I want you guys to use this database. Now, as I've said since the beginning of class, and you'll hear me say a lot, everything you need to be successful in this class is built into the course. So what you're going to do when you're ready to get this article you're going to go over here to your module links. You have a helpful Heather link here to a module. She's our course librarian. When you click this, you'll see under the list of resources here, Ethics Info Guide. Okay, and you're going to click that. Now, you're going to use this a lot if you want to be successful in this course, because these are all equate to assignments that we're doing, okay? And so this one you'll see ethical issue in the news assignment. Well, that's what you're doing this week. So you're going to click on that tab, okay? Now, I would advise you to read these steps because it tells you the best way to look for an article. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to go to step 2, and we're going to click on America's News. Okay, and that's going to take us right into the database. So start in the course and follow the links the way I did. If you try to access the database from outside of our course, it won't read your student credentials, and you'll have to add those, and it talks about what they are in step 2. But it's a lot easier if you just go in right through the course, okay? So now you'll see we're in Newsbank. Okay, now one of the things the instructions tells you to do from that ethics info guide is to click on advanced search. Okay, so we're going to click on advanced search. Now one thing that's good about the advanced search is you can limit it by the dates, because as you'll see in the instructions, this article needs to be about a recent incident, and the article itself needs to have been published either from January 1st, 2020 till now. So if it's older than 2020, you can't use it and you'll lose points on the assignment. If there's some reason that you absolutely cannot find something that is current, you can send me the link and ask me if it's okay, but there should be plenty to find, okay? So what I would recommend right off the bat is just putting 2020 and 2021 in the dates, okay? Because what that's going to do when I click search here in a second, it's going to select only the articles that were published in that time range, okay? Now, as it says in the ethics info guide, it recommends that you pick a topic and then you put like ethics along with it, because we want to search just for these ethical issues, okay? So it could be politics and ethics, it could be the pandemic and ethics, it could be school and ethics, whatever you're interested in, okay? Take a topic that interests you in society and look at an ethical situation for it, okay? And I don't want to limit you on what topic you get. I just want to make sure it deals with an ethical issue of a situation where we're concerned about the moral rightness and wrongness, if you will, of a situation. But just for fun, we'll do politics, ethics, right? See what that gives us. And we'll hit search. And we have politics, we have ethics, and we have this date range. Okay? And it said no results were found for your search. So we might need to change the word, right? So let's maybe political ethics. Okay? Because little things like that matter. Let's see. We'll hit search. Okay, and we still don't have any. How about ethical issues in politics? And we hit search. And now we have it, okay? So what you may need to do sometimes is play with your search terms, but make sure that somehow the word ethical, the word, and then your topic you want to search is in there, and it should grab that, okay? And then you'll see these are all articles, okay, that we can grab. You see what I'm saying? So you look and see one that you like. So I sit here, maybe I click this article. Maybe this is the one I'm going to go with. I haven't read this article, but I'm just scrolling through it. And I could see kind of what's highlighted. Talks about politics a lot. I don't necessarily see the word ethical a lot. It doesn't, oh, there's one right there. Okay, talking about ethical behavior. It doesn't necessarily have to say the word ethics and tell you that there's an ethical issue in the article, but you have to be able to draw one out. But let's say I was going to use this article. I would read the article, and then I would go do my assignment. One thing I do want to show you guys is a nice little pro tip here. If you go to this thing, it gives you the site, right, for your article. And as you know, we're doing everything in APA. So then you just come here and you click APA. Okay, and this right here appears to be the APA citation for this link. What you'll do is you can copy and you can paste that into your references page. You'll need to make sure that it's Times New Roman 12-point font. I don't want to see any little ghosted blocks from where you copied and pasted, and I don't want to see the internet font. You need to match it to the rest of your paper. But then what I'll ask you to do is this gives you the information, and then you just check it against my citation guide that I have in the APA module. On the last page, it has all the rules for how citations should be formatted, and you got to make sure that like the title's formatted correctly, and that like everything, like right here, I could see, you see how this is all caps? That would be wrong. You don't want to do that. Only like the L, the E, and the B should be capitalized. So little things you'll have to tweak. But you can see this article is from January 14th, 2021, so it fits the range. There's some sort of ethics about the political thing I looked up. And so this article appears it will serve our purposes, okay? Now, once you have your article and if you read it, you're going to go back to do the assignment, okay? So you'll just go back to your module 2. You'll read over the instructions thoroughly. Remember, 5 points of this assignment is going to be whether or not you just followed the instructions. So any deviation from the instructions will cost you points. But at the bottom of this module, I gave you a downloadable Word document as an example to follow. We need this to be in full APA format. This is your title page. The title of this assignment will be, the title of the article, an M dash, and then the date of the publication, okay? And then this is the proper APA title page information. You need to have a double space, so it's technically quadruple space between the title and your name. And you need to have your page numbers up here in the top corner, okay? Then you're going to have your title again on the first line, okay? Same as it was on the title page. And then you'll indent your paragraphs. You'll have a nice double space, Times New Roman 12-point font. And I want you to use this document as an extension of the instructions. So look over it because it tells you how to do this. But essentially your first paragraph will just be this big, summary paragraph, right? And then you'll have a citation from the article at the end. Notice how it's outside of my final period to show me that this citation goes to the whole thing. You don't have to mix it in per se because, like I said, it's not any of your own original thought. It's just summarizing the article based on the ethical situation of it. Don't just give me the who, what, where, why, when, how. Give it to me from the perspective of relaying to me that ethical situation, okay? Now, the second paragraph, as it says in the instructions, between your first and last paragraphs here, you need to state the main moral issue. And in the module, it shows you, there's an activity about how to do that. But the main moral issue should be a should question that kind of gets to what's the main problem, the main ethical dilemma, and what needs to be solved per se. Now, there's 2 ways to do this. You can write a should question that could be answered with a yes or no. So for my hypothetical article here, should the widget manufacturer pay its employees more money for their labor? So that's a basic should question that we could answer with a yes or no. Now, the explanation of the yes or no would be the complexity of it, but the question itself should be simple and straightforward. Should the widget manufacturer pay his employees more money for their labor? Yes or no? Now, the other way to do this is you could do a what should question. Okay, so the question could be rearranged. What should the widget manufacturer do about the increasing unrest of his laborers? Okay, because then that would be a question that you're going to present. And as you'll see when we do the critical thinking model starting in week 4, module 4, you're going to come up with 4 options for a decision maker to make. So the widget manufacturer would be a decision maker. What should the widget manufacturer do? You would give 4 options for that. You can do both. You'll receive credit for doing it both ways, either way. Me personally, I just like the should that could be answered with a yes or no real quick. But you can do the should the widget manufacturer or what should the widget manufacturer do, as long as in that question it's clear what you think the main moral issue is. So here I've isolated the main moral issue as the laborers may not be making enough money, okay? And so it's been isolated as the issue. If you just say what should the widget manufacturer do, you're not going to get full credit for that. And if there's any questions about that, please ask me. This is important because we're going to do this a lot. It's part of the critical thinking application projects. It's something you're going to be tested on in the midterm. So it's something we need to nail down early, okay? So just to recap real quick where we're at so far, we've summarized the article. We've presented the main moral issue in question form. And then in this last paragraph, you're just going to react to the article, react to the situation, explain why it's an ethical problem. Really just dig deep. What I'm looking for, guys, is depth. And one thing, one piece of advice I can give from looking at the first assignments to now, I need you to go in more detail about these issues, these problems, instead of just presenting them and then walking away from them. Really dig into it, okay? Really give me that full explanation. That's what I'm looking for the content, okay? But respond to it, reflect to it, give your reaction. And if you can, maybe present some sort of ethical answer to the question that you posed based off of, what you feel would be the right moral decision to make in that situation, okay? And then you'll have a references page at the end, and you'll have the citation for your article. I showed you how to generate that in the database. So you'll put that citation here, make sure it has a hanging indent. I've noticed that a lot of people didn't do a hanging indent on the textbook citation last week, and that's because they copied paste it, which is fine, but you still have to format it right. And so make sure it has that. It's just the same indent, okay, that you do for a paragraph, but it's on the second line. The first line has to be on the edge, okay? And when you have that ready, you're going to submit it to the Dropbox, which is right in the module. Remember, everything you're going to do for the week is within that module. Okay, so you're going to come here, and there should be the Dropbox is right here. So you're going to submit it to this Dropbox. You can see it's worth 40 points. Make sure you pay attention to the Dropbox rules: APA formatting, double space, Times New Roman 12-point font, proper APA references, formal academic writing, no contractions, no second person you. There's no situation where you should ever write you in your paper. Please don't preach to me about ethics. That's my job to you guys, right? First person is limited to the reflection paragraph only. You shouldn't be writing about yourself in the the last paragraph, reflection, right? I said that, sorry. The first paragraph shouldn't be about you. It should be about the article. The last paragraph is your reflection, so you could use I, me, myself, etc. Very limited. Don't overdo it, but you can have that in the reflection paragraph. Submissions have to be in MS Word doc format, okay? And I want you to review your Turnitin report and review that report to see what the similarity is. Remember, there's absolutely no direct quotes allowed for this assignment, period. I said last week that I was going to ask you to pull the only direct quote I would ask you to ever pull. What happens is when you use words that are similar as another author, another source, it's going to highlight and it's going to show me exactly where that came from. And if you've taken words word for word from another source and used them, that's plagiarism, and there'll be penalties that come with that. Okay. Keep in mind that changing a word in the middle of a sentence isn't paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is you reading a piece of information and then writing it the way you would write it, the way you would say it, and then doing a citation at the end. As a general rule, if you're using 5 or more words in the same exact order as another source, that's a direct quote. And undocumented direct quotes in your paper are going to, at minimum, cost you points, and then at maximum get you some sort of remediation or something for academic dishonesty or even disciplinary action. So please just write it all in your words. This system is very intuitive. It will catch everything that you take from another source. So it's better just to do it right and be honest. Okay. I showed you how to look at the sample assignment. One last thing to see is there's a sample rubric here. Okay. And so this shows you what the grading expectation is. I'll fill out this rubric and attach it to the end of your document and upload it to your feedback. You're going to get 5 points just for doing the assignment instructions, 5 points for adhering to APA guidelines, 5 points for your grammar and mechanics. And remember, basically whatever they would expect out of you in Comp 1 is what I'm going to expect out of you for this category. I'm not looking for high level stuff, but I'm looking for sentence structure errors, word choice issues, spelling issues, etc. And then, as always, for all assignments, your content is the biggest chunk. So 25 points of the 40 is your content, but it's important to pay attention to these other things because each of these is a letter grade. So if you drop the ball on all 3 of these, I mean, at best, you can get maybe a C if you've killed it on the content. Okay. So I'm sorry if this video was a little bit longer, but I really wanted to go over it and make sure you guys understood the expectation for the assignment, because I want you guys to do well, and I want you to have all the resources that you need. So now this video is available for you guys. It's up to you if you want to use that or not, or if you even view it. My recommendation would be to, watch this video, use all the tips in it. Definitely use the sample guide because you got to remember, I created that guide for the assignment, that sample format. That's what my brain is expecting to see when I grade. And if you deviate from that, if yours doesn't look like mine, I'm already starting to take points off. Okay. So use the video, ask me questions, email me, bring questions to class, whatever you need. But like I said, definitely start early. Don't wait until you see me Thursday for class or Wednesday for class and then start, because it's due Sunday by 11:59 p.m. If it's not in the Dropbox, it's 0. So get started early. Seek help from librarians. Seek help from writing tutors. Seek help from your professor. Whatever you need to do to be successful, okay? So I'll see you all in class, and good luck and good work, okay? Get it done, and we'll move on to the next module next week. All right? Have a good